Great to see you. If you're joining live or if you're joining the video, happy to have you here. And please put comments in. I must tell you that when I went to see who won the card this week, there was only about 5 people who commented. So if you want to have a chance at earning this week's card, you better start commenting, whether you just say hello or whatever you say. So you can see Faye's on the screen. She's helping me again today. Thank you, Faye. That is wonderful. I am going to hide you so I can see the whole screen. And we will get started with, first of all, I will, because I'm remembering it, let you know that this card I made last week is going to you, Kim. And I realize today is your birthday, so happy birthday, Kim. And it looks like you had an awesome time at the fair. I saw your post with prizes. I forget what there was, like 16 different prizes you won. So way to go. I don't take part in those, so I really have a lot of admiration for you doing that. So keep it up. You'll see my question across the top for this week. If you had a back to craft shopping list, like back to school list, what would you put on it? Let us know. And I'm going to switch over to the chats. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Yvonne. Good to see you. And thank you for commenting. That's the only way you're going to get your name in the draw for this week's card. I do have a couple things. I know a lot of people call them housekeeping. I don't know if that's really what they are, but things about Stampin' Up! To share with you first. And then I have a really neat card to show you. I found it on Lisa's Stamp Studio, Lisa Curcio. And I have made one that I'll show you at the end as a sample, and I'm going to make a different one with different paper and different embellishments, pardon me, during the live tonight. But I hope that you will follow along and hope that you'll make some too. So, good to see you back, Bonnie. Hello, Catherine. Good to see everybody. So, let me switch to this camera, I hope. I'm never quite sure. Just a note, my paper share ended yesterday, so I will be sending out invoices later today or first thing tomorrow for that, because I can order in a week's time on September 3rd, and I'll get the paper and ribbon share all ready for all of you who joined that. A reminder that there is an in-color sale happening until the 31st, which is Sunday. If you're looking for anything, not just the cardstock, ribbon, ink, anything with the in colors in, well, pretty much anything. There's lots of designer papers that have the in colors in them, and some of the kits, and those are on sale too. So don't miss out. There's some great deals happening there. Next, we have World Card Making Day coming up October 4th, and it is something that's free to everybody by Stampin' Up! From 2 to 3. There is a kit that they will be demoing, and it will be available to us, I believe, on September 3rd as well. I'm not sure when we as demonstrators can get it, but I will be getting one of them and show you what it's going to be in case you want to get it and stamp along or create along with us on that day. So just mark that day. It's always the first Saturday in October. The mini catalog, great stuff inside there. If you don't have one and you don't have a demonstrator in Canada already, let me know and I will get a catalog to you, whether I mail it or deliver it or whatever. Just, I love sharing them. So let me know. Okay, any questions there? I will try to follow, and Faye is there to help me if I can't. I know she'll keep on top of it, and I'm going to get started. So I brought in my scoreboard because I find it makes deeper impressions on the cardstock when I score with it. So my card base is 5.5 by 10.5, scored at 3.5 and 7. And believe it or not, I have done that on here, but you certainly wouldn't know it from the looks of it. So I'm going to do it again. So you just put your tool in that little slot there and slide it down. And recently I read that if you, and I've been meaning to bring it downstairs and I keep forgetting, if you rub your paper with wax paper, it will slide, your scoring tool will slide better for, there, I can see that much better now. So that's my base, except there's something on it. And then the other piece that I want to score while I have this here is for the blocks. This is called a, what did she call it? A pop-up block card. So the blocks are 1 inch by, basically 1 inch by 1 inch. But, no, take that back. They're 1.5 inches. So she said, cut your strips 1.5 and then do the scoring. Well, I thought that's kind of silly. So I made my paper 6 inches by 4.5, and then I'm going to score it, and then I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to score it at 1.5, at 3, and at 4.5. And there, you should be able to see that much better as well. So let me just set this aside. Try not to drop it on the floor. And then I'm going to take these and cut them at 1.5. And I hope this will work. That was my mathematics late at night. So that's basically what we need for our base. This one I'm using white. The other one I use black. Can any of you guess what theme the other one's for? Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these cut at 5 3/8 by 3 3/8. Those are going to go on here. Then I've got designer paper cut at 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, and this is for my greeting, which goes on the back. And then my front focal point is going to be a little bit different because I wanted to use these pieces from the Storybook Friends set. That's got to go that way. So I just matted it with white, and I've got a couple pieces that are going on it. Then I also needed 6 each of my old olive and white, and those are going to go on the cubes that I'm going to make. So that's what we've got. Hello, Linus. Good to see all of you here. And just a comment, I know some of you, I've seen on the comments when I go back and read them, that some of you are having trouble finding where I am. If you subscribe to my channel, when I put the notice up, usually Wednesday, sometimes it's not till Thursday morning, it will notify you that I'm going to go live, and then you should get a notification at 7 o'clock at night when I do too. And you shouldn't have any trouble with finding me. So please subscribe, and of course like and comment over there. Even after the live is done, comments are, I'm notified of comments, so I would love to hear from you. So unfortunately, this is white. This is white. I do have. This might help for you to be able to see things a little better. Just put a piece of black down there. So that's my base. Then I have these 3 strips that are going to be my cubes, and I'm going to fold them on the score lines and make them as accurate as I can with folding in the middle and then folding in to meet. So these are going to go, when I get ready, they're going to be glued. I'll just give you a warning on that. They're going to be glued on here, and they're going to go down like this. No, I'm going to put something on before that, but that's where they're going to go. So please keep answering my question for the week. I love hearing your chitter chatter and knowing if you've got a back to crafting shopping list. I am excited about being able to purchase anything in the mini catalog as a demonstrator. I can do that starting on the 3rd. And don't forget, if you ever decide you want to have that discount of at least 20%, you can join my team anytime. You don't have to do anything else. Just join, enjoy the discount, keep on having happy shopping trips if you want. And if you do decide you want to do a business, I will certainly guide you along that way too. So there are my pieces all folded and ready. But before they go on, I do need to adhere my 3 pieces of, put that over here where, hello Marie. I just see your name on there. I'm not going to, I'm going to put designer paper on those 2. This one I'm going to leave for the front, and this one I'm going to have for the back to write on. So while I do that, just keep chatting with each other. If I had a back to, yes, answer the question. If you had a back to crafting list, what would you purchase? And thank you, Faye, for helping me out again. I don't want to keep you too long for these classes on Thursdays, but I do want you to know that I really appreciate you being there and commenting. So you'll see with the measurements I gave you, and these will all be in my newsletter on Tuesday, as usual. There's just a very narrow border because there's only an 1/8 of an inch difference between the DSP and the cardstock. So I guess that would be a 1/16 on either side, right? And I like to, when I do mine, I don't know about you, but I don't like to rub on the front because chances are really good that I would move the paper. So I just turn mine over and rub on it. And that way, I also do not put the oils and grease and ink, or whatever you want to call it, from my fingers on the finished product. So, yes, you may be wondering, I see some comments about hot weather. It is hot here too. You'd never know that with me wearing a sweater tonight, but downstairs I do have air conditioning, and I find if I don't have a sweater on down here, and I'm here for a while, which I love being here for a while, I do end up being cold. So I thought tonight I would press the front of it, but get the idea. So before I put those blocks on, I need my background layers on. So, and again, there's only a 1/16 of an inch or whatever around them. This one I'm just going to put on by itself because I have the other section I want to put on the front. But I will do these inside pieces first. So, Pam, you don't mind if longer. Okay. I know I could chat here for an hour or 2, but that doesn't help you get your crafting done, does it? So once I've got those done, I'm going to glue these on, and what I'm going to do, I'll try and show you. You can see my center fold here. It's open back here. I'm going to put glue on here and here, and I'm going to lay it so that it lines up with that fold mark. I just realized I didn't turn this camera on. Is that any better or worse? I don't know. So, and when I did my sample, I was, of course, hurrying because I wanted to get it done because I really was excited about what it looked like. And so I'm going to place the top one here, just down a little bit. Hold it, because it's liquid glue, it's got to have a little bit of time. And then it's going to go like that. Then I'm going to do the bottom one. Same idea. And try to get it about the same distance from the bottom. Lined up in the center. Hold it. And then the center one. Hello, Stacy. Ines, I see more snips. You need more paper snips? I've got the pair I had when I first joined, just about 18 years ago, and they're still working wonderful. So I think if I had a back to crafting wish list, that's even or not, I would, I don't know what I would pick. I think I would probably pick designer paper. I really have a fetish about it. So once it's there, I did take it like this and fold it and burnish it. But make sure that your glue has set, because I messed mine up on the other one. So that's the hardest part. Then to decide what goes on it, I again was using that paper from the Storybook Friends. This paper, that's where I got that cutout that I'm going to use on the front. And I had lots of this left, and I thought, okay, how can I use this? I tried cutting another square, and I was not very good at cutting square. So I got out my punch and just punched out whichever ones I felt worked. I saw somebody, Stamping with Marg. I don't know if you've ever followed her. She's a gal from St. Albert, I believe. She does videos, and she was doing a card that she used her tiny punch, it was quite small, to punch out, glimmer paper and use it for embellishments. And I thought, oh, wow, that is a great idea. So Catherine wants supply storage. Yeah, that's another good idea. Although I think no matter who we are, we would need something different for supplies, whether it was you or me or, that kind of thing. So, but of course we could go to Michael's or Staples or Amazon or wherever if we had a list and somebody was going to fill it for us, right? So anyway, I took the idea that Marg had with using her, trying to get those straight and make sure they stay glued. You could, I thought of this after, I thought, well, if I was brilliant enough to, and it wouldn't be too hard actually, you could glue those on before you put them on here. I'll show you on my other one too, but I think they're pretty straight. And then I went to my Greetings for All mix and match. These come in white, black on white, and white on black. I didn't have a lot that fit on that size of square, but I did have these, which I'm going to put on. And I just wanted to share this tip with you tonight as I'm getting ready. I thought, this is just too plain. I need to outline it in black. But you see what I did? And you can't even embellish on that. So I went and found another one. And this one I did go around with my marker. And just to show you what I did, what I made the mistake of doing here was I was going like this. What I should have done was gone like this. So there wasn't any fear of me writing over that edge. But I had another piece, so that's what I used. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to put them that way. And then I will do the front. So this one is more fall, spring colors. The one I did for the first sample is definitely fall. And I don't like having these two similar this close together, but if you're reading it, I want it to say, hey, hello, sending hugs. So, and of course, if you had other stamps that fit, you could use them. There's not a lot that are that size that I have. I tend not to, well, I do keep some of my retired ones. I'm using them for Christmas, and I could probably find some for that here, but now I'm just going to do this again to try and make sure they're together. So there's my pop-up section, and this is going to go on the front. I did have, well, that was kind of silly. Look at, I was going to put these back here, but I forgot. So I guess that's not going to happen. This one I'm going to just adhere on here. Like I said, I cut a mat out of white just to make it stand out when I put it on the old olive. And tend to need it up here to line it up. And I think that's the top. That's how I'm going to mount it on there anyway. I did use dimensionals on these, but I glued the circles flat. And I will use dimensionals on my focal point here just to make it stand out just a little bit more. That is going to be this little person, and I don't know. I'll have to look at that and see what this one for sure will have dimensionals, and I'm not sure if what I'll do with that greeting. I thought sending sunshine was a good thing because I have lots of it here. I could send some to whoever, but I think pretty well all across Canada. Anyway, I don't know about you, Yvonne, in where you're living, if you've got lots of sunshine. I heard from a friend today who's in Ontario, and she said it's not quite as hot as here, but we are certainly having our share here. I think I'm just going to glue that flat right there. And, well, thanks, Catherine. I'm glad you're liking it. I was tickled when I found it, and I'll show you the printout I've got from Lisa's, because there's a couple other pattern papers used on there as well. And then on hers, I can move that now, she put her writing piece on here. And I thought, you know, if I was writing on this after I had it together, I would want it behind this piece. So, because it would be easier to write on than over the pop-up cubes. So that's where I'm going to put it. Thanks, Bonnie. I see your comments there, and like I say, I will come and answer others afterwards if I've missed them. So I took a piece of the designer paper there, and you know what, I didn't even try it, but I'm guessing it's going to fit in here because it's 5.5. So yeah, with a little bit of work, it does fit in our regular envelopes. So there is tonight's card. I really like it. How about you? Then, let me show you the one I did as a sample to begin with. Linda, I don't know if you're on here or anyone else. This is done with the designer paper, the Halloween designer paper that's out now. Just fussy cut this out of the paper. These words, or these stamped images, are from an old retired set called Banner Year. I do still have it in my for sale stuff. And actually, these are from there as well. These are a punch out, and these are a punch out from that paper. So we've got so many great things happening now with our paper coming with one of those sheets of punch outs. And then this is my back piece for that. So we have a black one, we have a green one, and let me show you. Yes, I know Pam likes it. I know that Pam and Linda for sure like the Halloween things. Might have to make another one, eh? So Lisa did a Halloween one, is where I first saw it, and then she also did this one with this set I do not have, the pumpkins where you color them and whatever. So you can put that on the front. This is where I can see that she put it in the middle, and you can definitely cut out pieces, just pieces of designer paper that fit, or words. So many possibilities there. So going to be, oh, Highness, going to be hard to find small images. True, but either that or like I say, what Lisa had done with actually cutting out just squares of designer paper. So those are the two cards with that design. I hope you will give it a chance, give it a try, not a chance, give it a try, and share them on my VIP page or on my business page or on my personal page. Just let me know if you've enjoyed them. Okay, I only have 3 other cards to share tonight. This one is one that I did the other night with Carmen's Mystery Stamping. And she has a book that she uses usually for her mystery stamping. She does that the last Tuesday of every month. So if you want to take part in that, just let me know and I'll steer you in that direction. And again, I use the punch to punch out this little guy. And this is a circle cut in half, designer paper. And the different thing on here was I actually had a marker that worked, a light white marker to do kind of the stitching. For sample, one of them did have actually sewing machine stitching. This one I shared on my website or on my Facebook page the other day about a great way to use your designer paper. Just cut it in strips and separate it just a little bit. And so I thought, well, I had it laying there to do that picture for that post, I would make the card. So that's one done with that new autumn paper. And this is one that we did last week in my Zoom with Friends. And if any of you are on here and you haven't joined that, you're missing out on a lot of fun. We have so much fun with our Zoom with Friends on Friday. And this one is one that Iris taught, and it's called a book explosion card. So again, some folding done, but it turns out to be a beautiful card. So that's what I have to share with you tonight. Any questions you haven't had answered, just message me. I'm going to switch back to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me. I love having you here on Thursday nights. I love doing this for you. And please, on my YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can get notified. Please like the videos if you do, and I'm hoping you do. And share it with your friends. Please invite them to come along because the more the merrier. Thank you, Faye, again for helping, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Bye now.